So they
God, what's going on here?
Yeah. So they start hyping up MJF and Adam Cole, but my notes I wrote, it's like I just saw them wrestle already in the pre-show, so they jumped the shark, and I'm just making note of like, they're doing the packages, hyping the matches, they hype up that one really big, and I'm like, dude, I just saw them wrestle though. It feels so weird that that wasn't on Dynamite. Anyways, Punk and Joe go on first. Now, did they do this to keep the Elite separate? I don't think so, because both of the Elite matches went on one after another, and I'm going to put the Elite, all of them, over tremendously on this show. Now, Hairline's making a disgusted face, but just the fact that they went on like third, I'll talk about it after. Let's talk about Punk and Joe here. This match was one of the very few I was invested in. Like, the only matches I was really invested in was this one, but not even so much. I was invested in Osprey and
I didn't give a
Jericho,
shit.
and I was invested in MJF and Adam Cole. Go figure. The three fucking singles matches I was the most invested in on this show. But Punk and Joe go on first. I wrote, I would be pissed if I paid for this show and got this match very first. I would be personally pissed. I'd be like, what the fuck? A lot of great spots. The announce table blade spot,
Box.
the John Cena. Well, it was just, I like that he got thrown under the table. He does the blade so no one saw it instead of just blading his face out in the open. But Samoa Joe catching him and doing that fucking throwing him into the under the table, and it just broke into pieces like that. I love that. That just looked great. And then he comes out bleeding. Just good shit, man. This is just good wrestling. Punk hit a nice hook and Rana at one point. That was really nice. The spot where Punk did the fucking John Cena comeback, and then instead of doing the five knuckle shuffle, he fucking does the Hulk Hogan ear shit, and then he hits the rope, drops the leg, and then fucking Joe kicks out at one. Joe starts hulking up. He does the Hulk Hogan fucking no sell you, and the crowd does it with him, and then Punk starts hitting him with his jabs. Fuck, man, Joe and Punk, man, this was a great match. This is a great, like, this was like a WWE style match to me. This was some of the most WWE shit on the card. Just the pacing of it,
Yeah, for sure.
the way there was some
Yeah.
indie shit, some callbacks to their old shit, the way they did the homage in that big arena. Man, Hulk Hogan's been getting a lot of shit lately. Let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something, brother. He's an all-timer. I'm fucking sorry. Like,
Well,
the
put
crowd
that in
popped
your little.
so hard for that spot, bro. I'm sorry, but I don't know. It was really good shit. It was just it
Yeah,
was
good
smart
shit. Yeah.
psychology to work. Like, Punk was working babyface heel and Joe was working heel face, like, it was smart how they kind of, because they're in Wembley, right? I had predicted it would be like a Hulk Hogan thing where he was going to show up in Wembley and just get cheered out the building, but no, it was still kind of 50-50. Maybe a little more cheers for Punk, but then the way they kind of spun it, it was full on like booing Punk, cheering Joe. But I wrote, this is a great match, but it ended abruptly. And I wrote, I think it's fucked that they got that little time and went first. If you're going to give them that little time, let them go on later. But I wrote, it's an odd finish, but got Punk's old soda pop plunge move as a viable finish again. And it's a callback to their Ring of Honor shit. So I talked about the match enough. Airline, your spots, and specifically on the Hogan spot. What did you think about that?
Yeah, obviously the Hogan spot topped the shit out of me. Hulk Hogan's probably my favorite wrestler of all time. Obviously, fucking, I know he's a fucking goof. You don't have to fucking tell me in the comment
Yeah, but
section.
Hogan on TV isn't a goof. Hogan in fucking sex tapes that are leaked to the internet is a fucking goof.
So basically, man, I wrote fucking Joe loves that little step away spot. He does that every fucking match. Punk is Mox. And yeah, basically what you said, bro. Very excellent fucking pacing. This was a very WWE match. And yeah, Pepsi plunge, you got it over, bro. Brought her back, bud.